Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It is Friday, September 10th, 2021. Welcome one and all. We are back. It's fun and exciting installment in the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update series. It's Friday. We're beginning to wind the week down. Hey, what a week it's been. Not too pretty in the markets, and Bitcoin continuing to consolidate here around 45K. Looks hella droopy. Will we wander back up? Will we test up a little bit before moving down, or are we going to go straight down? Is this any of this set in stone? Will our analysts be able to shed some insight on the latest going-ons in the price action? Of course, if you've been following us for the last few days, I think you know where our analysts stand in all of this. At the moment, it's not pretty. WADA building more negative momentum, and yeah, it's looking hella droopy. What's the weekend trading session going to bring? That's the main topic today. We're going to be discussing with two of our lead analysts here at CC. Alex and Jason are with us this afternoon. Big shout outs to both of these guys. Alex, how are you, my man?
I'm doing a little better today, thank you.
All right, Alex is back indeed, and Jason. Jason.
For the audience who you probably don't know, but my mom died, so I'm just
You're
not
lucky
feeling
to be
great,
here.
and probably not going to not going to be doing the TA today mostly.
No problem. No problem. Sorry to hear that. Our condolences, of course. I'm sure for me and everybody else in the community. It's so sad to hear that. And yeah, man, we got your back if you need anything. Jason, how about you? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. Just another day, living the dream, chipping away. Have shorts hitting, take profits overnight. If if anyone was here yesterday, I mean, the price action's pretty much behaved as expected thus far, which is good. I really do think that we kind of got a beat on it for now. So I'm excited to get into the TA today, and especially for over the weekend. I think it might be an interesting weekend.
All right. Yeah, you sound pretty confident. That's what I like to hear. Pretty comfortable in your positions. And yeah, we're going to go into the weekend, have some fun. Yeah, I think you're also going to have the hot seat today. We'll probably let Alex take a bit more rest. And you did a good job on yesterday's show. So we're going to have Jason probably heading up more TA. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. You know how the next hour-ish is going to unwind. We're going to, of course, look at the news. We are going to cover, quick look at the alts in the form of the crypto bubbles. We are, of course, going to shout out the audience. We are going to give it a quick market scan, give everybody some insight into what our analysts are thinking before, I guess, we get to the AMA, the request section of the show, where we are also going to open the chest. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I have a few news stories lined up to look at today. All right, I'm going to skip this one. I was just using this mostly as a placeholder with a decent headline. Indeed, Bitcoin exchange reserves are hitting near lows, but traders are still eyeing support at lower levels. So we'll see. We'll see how things play out, guys. I guess the idea is there's still some bullish fundamentals, some on-chain fundamentals that, I don't know, as bearish as the charts look, maybe fundamentally we're still looking good. It's best not to, as the old rule goes, never short Bitcoin. But in this case, unless you're professional. And yeah, let's keep it rolling, I guess. We'll cover all that in a bit. All right, let me see. What do I want to cover first today? All right, we have this poll here as well. All right, so I guess I will begin here. This is, of course, on the heels of El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. Here is a story regarding Brazilians. Apparently, almost half of Brazilians want to make Bitcoin the official currency as well. According to a new poll cited by a local newspaper, 40% of Brazilians want to make Bitcoin the official currency of the country following El Salvador's example. 30% of respondents disagree with such a proposal. 21% strongly oppose it. The share of Brazilians who say they would not invest in crypto has dramatically dropped from 33% in 2020 to just 12% in 2021. Security concerns, high volatility, and lack of money are cited as the top reasons people don't want to get into crypto. But of course, Brazil became the second country in the world, behind only Canada, to approve the launch of a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund back in March. El Salvador, of course, a small Central American country, made a trailblazing move back on September 7th to officially adopt a Bitcoin as legal tender, blah, blah, blah. You guys kind of know the rest of the story, but yeah, it goes to show you other Latin American countries are getting in line with this idea. I mean, clearly, now that the word has gone out, the word has spread, I'm sure this is now a discussion. Now that one person has made the move, or one country, one nation has made the move, clearly it's at the top of other ones, neighboring nations, at least that part of the hemisphere, that part of the world, that part of the southern hemisphere, all looking to, at least contemplating this option. It's like that Edward Snowden article we covered just the other day. This is now, it's like a warning shot getting fired to central banks around the world and nations, but apparently opinions are a little split. Let's go ahead and look at this next piece. I have one here. Where is it? It's right over here. All right, this one comes from Bitcoin Magazine, and it's titled Polls. 27% of Americans approve making Bitcoin legal tender in the U.S. All right, that's kind of a minority. Let's have a look here. A new poll by research and data analytics company YouGov has shed some light on the U.S. population's approval rate for the government to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender. The poll found that just 27% of Americans support the move, with younger generations leading the way with 44% approval rate. Baby boomers, on the other hand, despise the idea most often. YouGov found 11% of respondents strongly support an eventual law turning Bitcoin to legal tender in the U.S., while 16% said they would quote, somewhat support it. The survey demographics were especially interesting as they appeared to be firm but expected correlation between age and approval rate. The survey found more support in the U.S. among younger generations, with respondents between 25 and 34 being the most approving and supportive, and amassing a 44% positive outlook for having Bitcoin being used as currency in the country. But baby boomers showed similar numbers in the opposite direction. Those aged between 57 and 75 were in the minority, 11%, while those against it represented a larger share of the group, about 43% showing strong opposition. So this is pretty much nothing too shocking or surprising at all. Indeed, the boomers, the gold bugs likely, the 401k, the guys who lived through the golden age of the middle class, of the American dream, of the the high standard of living guys. The boomers don't go quietly into the night. They want to desperately keep the youngins from the Bitcoin. Heck, maybe there is some wisdom with the old heads, but in this case, just goes to show you, it really is a generational gap here, and kind of, I think, also demonstrates that it's inevitable as time goes on, as things change, as outlooks change, and new blood, I guess, comes in.
20 years from now, all those Bitcoin people are going to be like, they want to go to a credit system, and like, we don't want to.
Right, that would be hilarious. Yeah, it's going to come full circle at some point. But yeah, it kind of goes to show you where Americans at least stand in making Bitcoin legal tender. Yeah, good luck. Not likely to happen anytime soon. Yeah, it goes to show you that with time, that's certainly an age thing. This is no doubt an age thing, and with South America having relatively young populations, I think, compared to like say America, go figure. It's those nations that seem to be adopting it first. So indeed, it might be a correlation with the age. All right. Let's get into this next piece from Bitcoin Magazine as well. Here's a BlackRock executive. Yeah, everybody's favorite. I don't know, maniacal overlords. BlackRock executive believes Bitcoin's price could rise, quote, significantly. Well, if the insiders say so, let's have a look. On Thursday, Rick Ryder, CIO, Chief Investment Officer, BlackRock, said that on CNBC Squawk Box that he owns Bitcoin and he believes its price could go up significantly in the future. Well, that's an endorsement. An executive at the world's largest asset manager. Yeah, literally, they're the world's largest asset manager. They practically own everything. I watched a video the other day showing all the stuff that BlackRock, all their tentacles, and how they practically own everything. All right. Let's keep going. Sorry for the interruption here. Just have to quickly change the track. An executive of the world's largest asset manager, boasting almost $10 trillion in assets under management, Ryder explained his thoughts concerning Bitcoin, describing it as an alternative currency whose future price movement is likely to be dictated by an increase in adoption. Quote, part of why I own a small piece of Bitcoin is I do think there are a lot more people who are going to enter the fray over time, he said. I like assets that are volatile and have upside convexity. I could see Bitcoin, like it has done, go up significantly. Wow, I haven't actually heard anybody describe the upward price trend, I guess, of Bitcoin, long-term Bitcoin's price trend, as upside convexity. That's a new one. What kind of Ivy League?
I mean, so convex and concave are like, the two different curved shapes that a surface can be. So yeah, he's just saying Bitcoin likes to go parabolic.
Yes, I get that, but I've never actually heard that term described. Maybe this is the kind of price descriptors you have when you go to an Ivy League school, but something to think about.
Yeah, this guy knows lots of different ways to show price number go up.
I love it, right? Yeah, exactly. As a speculative,
I've got a lot of ways too. You say, oh, we're very bullishly postured here, or you say something like, oh yeah, I think we can really appreciate in this spot. There's also different ways you can say number go up.
Indeed.
That sounds smart.
Certainly could try to, at least. Let's have a look. I'm just going to raise Alex's volume a little bit, guys. Let me know if everybody's volumes are on point today on the show. I think they're looking pretty good, though, based on my visuals here. Let's see. As a speculative tool, Ryder said there's value in holding Bitcoin. In August, it was reported BlackRock allocated some $382 million to a share of Bitcoin mining giant Marathon Digital Holdings and Riot Blockchain. An uncovered SEC filing dated from June 30th shows that BlackRock bought significant shares of Bitcoin mining companies, which it now holds in certain funds. BlackRock's continued interest in Bitcoin speaks to the influx of traditionally conservative large financial institutions leveling up their exposure to Bitcoin through traditional equity and other traditional investment vehicles such as the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. In January, BlackRock followed the SEC to include a cash-settled Bitcoin futures for the BlackRock Global Allocation Fund and the BlackRock Strategic Income Opportunities portfolio, according to Forbes. Man, so these guys got their exposure in all right on Bitcoin. Notably, BlackRock's investment in Bitcoin mining comes after American Bitcoin mining companies are expected to profit from China's mining ban and the subsequent drop and global reallocation of hashing power. Indeed, we're seeing a bit of a shift here into America, into the West with the mining, just in time for our big corporate overlords to get in on the party. Perfect timing. What's not to like about BlackRock's endorsement? I don't know. Not so comfy feeling maybe being in bed with BlackRock, but hey, maybe we're all in this together. They're gonna pump my bags, they'll pump your bags, and everybody goes home happy. All right, let's go. Let's keep it rolling here. Got a couple more minutes to cover a few more news items. All right, so NFTs are big when all the big sports franchisees type things start throwing down on NFTs. And the latest to join the fray, NASCAR releases NFTs and its own marketplace. Fascinating. Let's see here. The automotive industry is yet another with its sights on crypto-filled future. NASCAR, one of the world's premier auto racing and operating companies, is the latest such example. The company is known for its extensive relationship with collectibles, and NASCAR fans are all about them. However, the next step for NASCAR collectibles is in the metaverse. Recently, Speedway Motorsports, the corporation which owns 8 NASCAR tracks, partnered with Gig Labs on a new NFT marketplace. Never heard of Gig Labs. I was wondering who they did this with. It's called RaceDayNFT.com, and it's the first NASCAR-centric NFT marketplace. It launches on Monday at 1 p.m., a week prior to the Cup Series playoffs at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The chief strategy officer for Speedway Motorsports commented on a new development, writing, "Collecting has always been a part of NASCAR's fandom, whether it's diecast or people who have collected our event programs, all kinds of things," he said. "So we are thinking, quote, how can we bring that over into our side of the world, our business?" Well, guys, I'm not the biggest NASCAR fan here. I certainly do like cars. What's that?
If you ain't first, you're last.
Straight up, yes, Ricky Bobby. But I guess goes to show you this NFT thing has gone bonkers in many ways, even more so than crypto. Back in 17, in the peak of that fervor, people were talking about tokenizing damn near everything, and it didn't really make a lot of sense. But now,
Long Island blockchain.
That's right, the Long Island Iced Tea blockchain company. Exactly. That's a good example of how everybody tried to cash in on the marketing blitz. And in this case, it's a bit of that. Just shifted toward NFTs. So it's kind of reminiscent of that. Everybody's trying to get in, and in some cases, I hope this does in fact, does help give fans what they want. But on the flip side, I can't help but think this is just a shameless cash grab by big corporations. Let's see here. Anything else here? Past summer, another automotive industry giant, BMW. Sorry, go ahead.
I love how in that article they wrote it to make it sound like we're doing this for the fans because they need to be able to collect stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like you're doing it because people make a lot of money off this, and how the hell do we get in?
You make a lot of money, and maybe you look like you're not a dinosaur. You're kind of moving with the trends. I didn't know BMW also dropped an NFT series.
Buying CryptoPunks.
Yeah, right. All right. So that would be NASCAR. I think we're about done the news. What else do I have? I got maybe one more story to cover here, guys. Bear with me. It is Friday, so we're not going to take the schedule too seriously. Let's keep it rolling. Stablecoins and DeFi will, quote, challenge traditional banks, says the Bank of International Settlements. All right, so these guys are nobodies. Let's go look at this story. The head of the Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub has stated that, quote, global stablecoins, DeFi platforms, and big tech firms will challenge banks' models in a speech delivered at the EuroFi Financial Forum. Yeah, warning shots being fired right now. Hope the commercial banks are listening. Benoit Coeur, head of the Innovative Hub at the Bank for International Settlements, has warned central banks that they must act quickly in response to the rise of crypto and decentralized finance. Coeur, I gotta get my French accent right. Coeur was invited to speak at the EuroFi Financial Forum, a European think tank dedicated to financial services. The event took place in Ljubljana, Friday. Where the hell is Ljubljana? Just out of curiosity, guys, I need to I need to have my geography on lock. And capital and largest city of Slovenia. Terrific. Yes, Slovenia, beautiful country indeed. In the speech, Coeur called on the central banks to step up their efforts to develop central bank digital currencies in the face of competition from stablecoins and decentralized finance platforms. While acknowledging the difficulties of CBDC implementation, Coeur also delivered a stark warning to central banks, stating, quote, banks are worried about the implications of CBDCs for customer deposits. Central banks are mindful of these concerns and are working on answers. But make no mistake, global stablecoins, DeFi platforms, and big tech firms will challenge bank models regardless. All right, so regardless what the banks do, CBDCs or not, they're going to be in straight competition, I guess, with the private models. Coeur also outlined several goals for potential CBDC, including privacy, security, and broad usability. Today's speech is not the first time the BIS has put forward proposals for CBDC development. Back in July, the BIS Innovation Hub and the IMF and the World Bank released a 34-page report outlining designs for a globally interoperable CBDC to rival existing stablecoins such as Tether and USDC. Man, it's incredible. Some really shady stablecoin operation like Tether somehow has the bankers running scared. It really is fascinating to think how thanks to the power of crypto, how hard we punch, I think, above our weight in this space. I guess. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even slag Bitfinex off and Tether off that hard. Many ways, maybe they run a more honest operation than the central bankers do in some cases. Maybe they're both unlikable characters, let's put it that way. However, it appears central banks are digging in their heels, as only 8% were considering stablecoins that could be used beyond domestic boundaries. In the past, the BIS expressed negative views of crypto, commenting on Bitcoin has few redeeming qualities, blah, blah, blah. But judging by the latest speech, it seems the BIS is now more actively encouraging CBDC development. The BIS and other financial institutions have frequently stated fears that private stablecoins may develop as closed ecosystems of walled gardens, creating financial fragmentation and threatening monetary sovereignty. All right, well, indeed, couldn't have too many private value transport channels. I guess these too many private finance protocols. I guess couldn't have too much of that, guys. We're all subjected to some public system, and God forbid we get access to something that approaches private banking, private organizations. That's only for the elites. That's only for the insiders. They get the special the red carpet treatment at the Swiss banks and in the Caribbean banks. You as a normie, as a schlub, doesn't deserve access to any of that, I guess, is how they see it. But I get it. There, you might want to you might want to still leave the system open to people. Don't want to marginalize people, I guess, would be the problem. But guys, I don't know. Are we heading into an anarcho-capitalist future where there's little left?
Every time I heard you say that.
Yeah. Will there be no one left? Will be no government entity, no real authority left to mind your personal rights, and it's going to be a winner-take-all thing, and you better find a blockchain, a DAO organization to subscribe to become a member of. It's going to be crazy, guys. I look forward to the cyberpunk world. It's that, or are we all going to be subjected under one global government? I guess it's a real black and white issue for me, as you can see. All right, enough of my rambling, enough of my exposition on the news. We, of course, are at 1:30, and it's time to get into the next segment. Let's go look at bubbles. What's going on in the alt space today? Well, it's about what I feared. Pretty ugly out here, but hey, it's not all bad. Hey, if there's a few green bubbles up, it's not a complete cataclysm in the space. So let's quickly shout out what is bucking the trend today. Luna up nearly 40%. Big day for Luna. Nice. Quant, yeah, Q&T's up 15%. AVAX up almost 12%. Harmony, one chain up almost 10%. ICX up a little over 10%. And Mina Protocol, yes, the Mina Protocol still kind of pumping away, up 7%. And finally, Kusama up a little over 7% as well. Hey, here's Tezos. Tezos was doing pretty good today. It's pulling back a little bit from today's pump, but Tezos is still rounding out as a small green bubble today. The rest of them, though, it's pretty ugly. Everything is down about single digits. Few like Phantom here, FTM are down almost 15%. Theta is down a little over 10%. Near Protocol, Near's had a knockout few days though, so about what you'd expect. Near up or down nearly 17%. All right, let me just switch this playlist over here. Thank you. All right, yeah, there's your quick look at bubbles, guys. I guess not all is in the tank. There's still a few good-looking outliers. Hey, my Kusama bags are back over $400. So yeah, some of my portfolios. Yeah, I'm getting wrecked on some parts of my portfolio, and other parts of my portfolio are doing pretty good. So in the end, am I kind of hovering on break even? Let's hope the NFT market bounces back. Bitcoin at 45.6 though, so maybe we're not going to. Maybe we're not going to.
All those spare mannequin heads.
Hodl gang for a long time. Hodl gang.
You'll be fine.
Yes, I went from short-term investor to a long-term hodler. Go figure.
He's a long-term community member now.
Exactly. Well,
you're a shark or a whale or something like that.
I am certainly a bit of a whale in that community, but now I'm going to be whaling for a while until the market bounces back a little bit. I can lock in some profits, right?
We'll bounce back. Incognitos are really awesome PFPs.
Yes.
I mean, if anything is going to bounce back, I think those are. I still have the ones I minted. I haven't sold them.
Yep, I'm just waiting for for things to catch up with us here at Icon, and then I'm confident NFTs will still see another great resurgence. Maybe not all of them. Maybe some of them.
This is the very beginning, man. Like these will be going till like even after we're gone. Like NFTs will be a thing.
Indeed, but the question is, the NFTs that we hold,
they're going to be able to sell it at a profit. That's what really matters.
Yeah, are we going to sell a profit?
We'll see on that.
And
I'll be your cheerleader over in the corner.
Will we? How many of the existing NFTs in the market? Kind of like a post 17-18 crash. A lot of ICOs never made it back. A lot of projects did not.
All those dead projects, or old first NFTs, will come back, even if your project doesn't get super successful within the year.
One can hope. I'm lucky. I'm happy because I'm in a project that didn't pump.
The devs and stuff.
Didn't pump and dump, dramatically. That's because that's a lot of ground to have to make up later, and well positioned to take advantage of the NFT market when it comes roaring back. I think people are going to have different tastes, different things are going to trend and be popular in the next big NFT cycle. And I think Icon's positioned pretty well to take advantage of that. But I don't want to shill too much of what I'm into, guys. That's enough of that. There is your look at the bubbles. Let's go ahead and look at the live chat. See who's kicking it with us this Friday afternoon. Lovely Friday afternoon at that, with the crypto's best audience, the CC crew. All our people are by far some of the most supportive and the best minds in the space. Alex1233, shoutouts to you. You're first in the chat, from what I can tell. Hello, good evening, all. How are we dangling today? Hey, dangling over a precipice, it seems.
Always to the left.
Always to the left. David Rice on DLive. What's up, all? Big shoutouts to David Rice. Shoutouts to Taz Blitz as well. Let's see here. Profit Bear, what's up, CC crew? Are we bouncing from the 44.7K? It's kind of are. I don't know. I feel like we're like a pinball bouncing around inside this block of price action.
Lower time frames would suggest it for now.
Yep. I'm still trying to figure out, is the majority of the market bullish? Did everybody flip bearish, or is everybody buying the dip and they're still bullish? I'm trying to counter trade.
I think a lot of people don't know what to do right now. I think a lot of people are holding their positions, whether they be long or short.
Because if everybody flipped short, everybody went, oh my god, this is it, I gotta bounce a short, then I definitely could expect the bounce to maybe 50 and then come back down. But I guess we'll see. Go ahead.
Coupled with everything that I'm feeling on lower time frames in conjunction with the bottom feeder signal, which has a great hit rate over time, I really do think that we're likely to see that bounce before we get that still up to lower lows.
Indeed. All right. David Rice pointing out we're shadow banned today. Well, what do you know it? We are. Lord knows why. But we certainly are. But thank you to our loyal audience. They come through regardless of where of how YouTube deals with us. Gravy Grits and Greens, Joe Mama grits. Yes, get those grits toasted over the hot flame. Shout outs to Joe Mama. Good to have you back in the chat. Rhino TD and Bricks. Yes, Bricks is in the live chat as well. Big shouts to our boy Bricks. DLive, David Rice. No, I'm just filling the downtrend. Lower still to go. All right. Philly Carr, fabulous Freaky Friday, fellas. Well, Philly Alexander Carr, it's good to have you back in the chat. Fabulous Friday to you, my good man. Let's see here. Be Free 7's back in the chat. Be Free 7's good to keep converting new users into regulars of the live chat. Thank you so much for being here, Be Free 7. Dan, yo. Big shoutouts to Dan in the YouTube chat. Brick says, MOVR is on fire. Hope people in here are in it. Well, we did talk about MOVR on the show yesterday. Wasn't that thing like hella overextended, and I don't think we were able to partake. But, yeah, congrats to anybody, I guess, who boarded the MOVR train. Philly Carr, I missed out on copper today as it bottled it and closed the long too soon. Never mind. All right. Dimi, you botched it? Never heard of that term. You bottled it, but you heard of that term?
Like when you catch lightning in a bottle?
I don't know. This one sounds like kind of like I botched it and I closed the long too soon is how I would interpret that. But hey, maybe this is some kind of British terminology I haven't heard of. You bottled it. Crypto Jenny. Big shout outs to Crypto Jenny. Revolution. Hola to Revolution on DLive. Be Free 7. I can't even read this jumbled wording here. Something about Tim Chair front. Okay, you must just be spamming. Rhino TD. Big shout outs to you. Bricks. Is this me or is Jack hard to hear? Am I hard to hear? Hopefully not. Let me know, guys. My audio levels are hitting the red zone on my audio meter, so clarify, guys. Am I coming in nice and clear? Midwest. Yeah, I'm listening. Polly B. Hey, people. Shoutouts to Polly B. P. Escobar. Pablo Escobar says happy Friday in the YouTube chat. Shoutouts to Mr. Escobar. Bricks. Have new speakers. It's probably just me. Okay. Revolution. Who's investing in brass and lead today? All right. Brass and lead, Mr. Revolution. Well, yes, I hear bullets are hard to come by and super expensive in the U.S. You know, might not even need gun control with what they're doing with ammo supply, from what I hear. Let's see here. Crypto Bull 21. What's up? Shout outs to Crypto Bull. Thank you for keeping up with the timestamps every day. A couple more comments, guys. We're getting to TA. Indeed, condolences from some of the people in the live chat. Let's see here. Jason's mic's back to normal today. Cool, says Revolution. Might be because I upped him a little more, but yes, he's good. Yes, everyone is very sorry to hear that. Condolences to others who, of course, have suffered similar losses. Sadly, guys, this is how life can go.
Well, thank you, guys.
Indeed.
It was, in some ways, it was sudden. In other ways, it was not.
It's one of the greatest challenges in life to overcome. You know, this bitter reality that nothing is forever, and loved ones sometimes go away, and sometimes you know, life can be a tragic journey. It doesn't always end well. All we can do is try to build and improve on you know, what came before us, right, guys? We gotta try to improve and I don't know, not repeat the mistakes of old, and so on and so forth, guys. Always lots to reflect on times like this, but let's not get down. Let's keep rolling. It is a Friday afternoon. Let's see here. Yes, and condolences galore coming through here. We hit toilet paper 1, says Crypto Bull 1. Indeed.
One on Ave.
Ave got the TP1. Brilliant. Dave Rice hit the like button. Yes, do hit the like button, guys, whether or not we're shadow banned. Crypto Bull 21. Yes, and Ave, he did. All right, a couple more comments. Blacklark got their hands in everything. Yes, Rhino TD knows what I'm talking about. Ron Legato says, I'm no boomer. Not even 57 yet. All right. Okay, so Ron Legato, you are one of the outliers in the poll. You're one of the semi-boomers who's probably all in on crypto. Too bad most of your counterparts. Yep. Mr. Ether, Robert Warner, dangerously close to the 200-day moving average. I know, super dangerous. I'm not too fond of what's happening right now. What's the upside? Convexity, yes. Wayne A over on YouTube, I see a request. Hang tight, we'll get into that in just a minute. Crypto Jenny, I see your request. Hang tight. All right, I think I have to finish off reading people's comments. But thank you everybody who's dropping comments in the live chat right now. I am going to review them in the next few minutes and get everyone's requests up on the board. Philly Car says no bottle equals no guts. Does it make sense? No, not really. But I got it. So I have the rough idea. I'll be praying, says Prophet Bear. The prophet is on your side, and I know a guy. All right, yeah, a lot of warm wishes and heartfelt messages in the chat. So thank you everybody coming through for us today. But it's time to get into the next segment. It is 1:30ish. Yes, it's 1:40ish. The intro has run quite a bit long today, but like I said, it is Friday. All right, Jason.
Yeah, me and Alex just talked about it. I think Alex is just going to do a general sweep of the market, like he usually does, and then I'm going to do all the requests.
Brilliant. All right. Well, if Alex, you'd like to go live, we'll give Alex a moment to get his connection started. And then we'll get right into it. Bear with me just 1 minute, guys. All right, excuse me. Gotta go over here. And all right, you're in. Let me just I'm going to change the playlist in a second, guys. In the meantime, Alex has just went live.
I never get music.
Yeah, you never get to hear it, of course. It's only the finest of royalty-free streamable music from Epidemic Sounds, of course, guys. Oops. Here we go. We've got Alex on screen. He's looking at the BTC chart, BitMEX BTC chart. So we're all synced up. I'm going to dive into the live chat, start collecting requests. In the meantime, you guys have the floor. I'll be back.
Okay. At this time, we're just too sideways. I sort of can't make heads or tails if we're going to come back up and retest 50K from below. But I do feel fairly convinced that by the end of the week, we'll finish rejecting and be moving down from this area. You know, as you can see, the 3-day is very rough looking. We have a bearish engulfing candle that we just closed yesterday. On the weekly, is another bearish engulfing candle. I don't know where exactly we would have to close to make it so that we don't get this exit signal on time transformation, but it seems kind of unlikely. We would have to. We're essentially going to have to close this week back above 49K to kind of fade this essentially a short signal that we're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the weekly here, this looks an awful lot like one final retest before resistance before we get a real push down again.
Mm-hmm. And I would even argue that even today, by the end of the day, you'd likely have to close above 49 because over the weekend, usually the weekends give back whatever they give. So you would need a really strong close on Friday, I think, to get any kind of bullish case out of the weekly by the end of it.
Maybe we could just wander upwards on just vaguely positive
Sideways.
Retail sentiment until Sunday, when the dollar market's open and reality sort of sets in, because crypto can kind of do its own thing in the weekends, but once Monday comes around, it's strapped to the dollar again.
Yep. Kind of why I feel like we we might fill like that bottom feeder signal over the weekend, get sold back into, they kind of remain sideways basically for the weekend, then continue the dump.
Yeah, that dollar, that bottom feeder signal we got. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I know. Pretty
Well,
high.
sometimes bottom feeder and I don't always agree. I think last time bottom feeder and I disagreed, bottom feeder won.
Well, that's the whole point of strategies.
Yeah.
You don't get to think about it.
Looking at the CME on the daily here, this is a super ugly candle, right? Like that really looks like a rejection here. We more or less got the price movements that we wanted here. We were looking from a rejection from resistance here at 52K, which we got. The 3-day certainly looks like it's crested here. This is almost a rounded top. We just kind of go up, we trade sideways, and then we come down with this large rejection wick here. This is very interesting looking volume at 39K, but I think I still like the volume at 35K the most. Ethereum, you can see a rather strong 3-day bearish divergence right here. Price making a higher high and our oscillator making a lower high, signifying to us that there's some sort of missing momentum, that we're detecting the missing momentum in our oscillator, but price, having made a higher high, isn't like quite showing it yet. We certainly haven't reclaimed our uptrend. You could make the argument that the weekly, however, is still kind of above, or at least inside of our support and resistance level. We've got a few days to see what happens here. So at least on the weekly, I'm not ready to turn tail and run yet. We could, we come up, we come all the way to the high, push back down, find support at previous resistance, and then kind of continue. I would be surprised. I admit it. I would be very surprised if that happened. But it's a possibility here. As long as we remain, if we can close this week above 3,400, I would say we probably found support here. But we're not above 3,400 right now, and it certainly seems unlikely at this point that we'll be closing up there. Ouch. So Bitcoin dominance still kind of finding support roughly around 40-41% Bitcoin alt ratio. As I stated, if Bitcoin dominance is going to find any sort of support, this is the area where it would happen. I'm not saying that there's necessarily anything special about a ratio of 40% Bitcoin, 60% alts to the market, except in so much as in the past it has found support in these areas. Right here. Boom, boom, find support here. And then if we were to break down here, I'd be looking for a 36% ratio, or roughly 1/3 Bitcoin, 2/3 alts. We'll see. I actually would suggest that we need Bitcoin dominance to break down more here. Bitcoin dominance breaking down would suggest to me more retail fervor, more people aping into shitcoins, more people buying NFTs, more people. I guess if you think about it, ignoring the safety of Bitcoin, the markets are all so volatile here in crypto that you don't even really think about it that way. But I mean, Bitcoin's kind of like the safe bet here with all the other stuff we're doing here in crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bitcoin dominance rising today. Let's look at some alt Bitcoin pairings. ETH Bitcoin. Here. Well, it's not great. Kind of feels like we might have, come up, we retest the top of the trend, we reject, and we continue downwards here on ETH Bitcoin. I think this is something that we could expect if the entire markets take a tumble. ADA Bitcoin, technically we are looking for some kind of support resistance flip here at 5,000 sats. If we continue wicking down in this area and then move upwards here, this actually could be a good setup. Again, I would be surprised because it sort of feels like we ran out of weekly momentum here a couple weeks ago. See, big candle, medium candle, small candle, reversal candle, and we start to fall. It's like you throw something up into the air. That's kind of how it looks, right?
Yeah.
Fast, slow, slower, reverse.
Gravity.
BCH Bitcoin is just kind of at its local point of control, neither here nor there. Let's look at some of the alt perps. Interestingly, Uniswap perp looking as if it may continue. Kind of makes sense. The Uniswap markets were basically unable to dump when a few days ago when the rest of the market did because gas prices were so high. This is actually the only alt contract that's up today. Dragon perp down, rejecting right from this resistance level that we've been eyeing. That sort of seems like, this is nature's way of saying get out. DeFi perp, what's that? It's rejecting from the area that we've been eyeing. Maybe we should get out.
Who could have thunk it?
Privacy perp didn't even make it back to the area that we have been eyeing. Exchange perp, wow. Well, this is rejecting from one of the areas we've been eyeing, and we're actually finally starting to break below. Well, this is actually probably hold on. What's a good way to draw this trend line? I see. So maybe it did make more sense as a logarithmic line. Hold the trend, break down. Stop out shorters, retest the other side of the trend, reject from resistance. Resistance here, come back down towards this area. I don't know. Sure seems to be rejecting from the area that we've been eyeing as resistance, right? We got this one last fake out, this up thrust above distribution. Collapse back down, trade a little bit more sideways. Finish everybody off. Who bought the dip? Well, this one I don't seem to have resistance marked out, but it would have been this area. Actually, it probably would have been. Maybe that's why I didn't have it marked out. It's not clear here. It's either this spot or up here. It's top of trading range. So this one pushed just a little bit higher than we were expecting, but ultimately we have broken the uptrend. We are below the daily baseline. Maybe we can still score a better spot for a short. We don't really have a short that we can take here. We're just too far underneath the qualifying line. Before we started getting below zero on our oscillator, so there's a chance we can swing up here, but I still say we should be looking to just get out. Yeah, this is not great.
Pretty damn similar to back over there in June, like the end of May there.
Yeah.
On that swing up.
I guess Link Bitcoin doesn't look too bad here. I would rather be long in this spot than short in this spot. Not really sure how I feel about the alt Bitcoin pairs. I think I might need a little bit more time to see what happens with them. Let's look at the broader crypto markets here. I think with the with Bitcoin down, the alts down, the dollar must be up today, right? Okay, we're up today. So we traded down a little bit earlier in the day, but we seem to be getting bought back up here on the dollar. So far, this really looks more like, as far as bullishness goes, this looks more like Jason's going to get his pattern than I'm going to get my pattern.
It's not a rate.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. So, dollar up, markets down. Markets down.
Yeah, I was talking about that short yesterday, and we were talking about this from around today is the day to fire. Finally getting it.
Yep. So we've slowly crept back below 350, which, as I had been pointing out, was really the level that we could not cross back below here. And when we had previously, we turned in support, boom, 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 we move up, boom, 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 we move up. But then we break down below our trend and now below horizontal resistance. Man, you should double fire the torpedoes. You should probably not double fire the torpedoes, but I mean, I feel pretty confident in our Dow Jones short here.
So in a nutshell, you're saying go mortgage your house.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. This is financial advice. You should mortgage your house. You should mortgage your house right now, guys.
Anything you got.
Not financial advice, satire.
Sat there and mortgage my house.
Certainly feels like a broken up trend. Could be, less gracious here, and still this is a broken up trend. Exit signal on the weekly. And the weekly closes in 2 hours here for the traditional markets, guys. Don't forget that. I'm not willing to call this bearish yet. This is just, one measly pullback on quite a vertical run here. So we still need more out of the NASDAQ before we get bearish on this. The S&P is always somewhere in the middle. Oh, now this is interesting. Now we're starting to get into the short territory for SPY. For now, this could be just another one of these drop-offs that get faded. I don't know how much longer the Fed can keep it up. but for right now, I don't think this is time for us to be bearish necessarily.
I think that's the last straw. I think we break from here.
You think this one is the last straw right here?
I do. I think the fourth. I think that's it. We'll see.
Okay.
But I'd put my money on it.
I mean, we don't have much more room here.
Yeah, it's kind of getting close to crunch time, right? It's either up or down.
Yeah. Well, and how much more up could it really up, right? Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
If it breaks up from there, it's gonna go a ways.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be a pretty impressive run, I think, if we can get the power to break above this.
Okay. All right. So
I think that's happening.
So commodities are likely faring very poorly against the dollar. That is, commodities are rather responsive to the dollar, like cryptos are. Okay, dollar up, gold down. So see gold, which if you guys will recall, we dumped once we crossed below our uptrend here. $1 sideways yesterday, the day before, down today, just a little. Silver down. Palladium way down. Just can't help but crow about this one.
You held on to it for a while.
Yeah. This is probably a good place to begin taking some profits on the palladium short. This is a very interesting area of liquidity, first off. And second off, it's just been like a very strong win at this point. So we're approaching this area of consolidation, and it looks like it's about to just completely fall off a cliff forever. And those are almost always the times where it reverses on you. So since this is looks like it's going to fall off a cliff forever, well, this is a good area to take profits.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You already won.
Yeah, look at this weekly candle. You know, most likely when the week opens, it'll probably bounce up a little bit here on vague optimism after, people playing mean reversals. I say this is a good spot. Platinum turns support into resistance. Now we're looking to buy back down near $935. We're basically eyeing the local point of control to pick it up. And if nothing else, we'll trade sideways, maybe move up a little bit. And if it doesn't look good, we'll be able to get out, maybe nearish break even. And then ultimately, I would look towards $950-ish area if that area didn't hold. But just like we did here, we bought here and we took a little profits, but things turned south. We dumped the rest. It broke underneath. We considered picking it up here because it looked like we were forming a swing failure pattern. Then it didn't, so we dumped it. Here we are. Brent crude might be time to call it. I don't know. I mean, this isn't exactly like a strong weekly candle. We haven't yet broken this downtrend. I mean, it doesn't look very good. Well, it looks as if we're crossing up here. I would be pretty cautious. I would probably look to just get out here, and then if we cross back under or look bad again, then I would re-enter and take like a small loss or like whatever I need to do. I don't know if I would feel comfortable holding this short into the weekend through the Monday with price doing this. I don't know. It could just be scaring us out. We still haven't broken the downtrend, or at least how I have it drawn. Copper, how does he do it? It's crazy. We're kind of expecting a retest of the highs here on copper, which we haven't done since we broke down earlier in the year. So this one's just kind of an easy giveaway. We came down, we made like a big wick into liquidity, And obviously we're going to come back up, retest the highs, and shake out everybody who shorted late. That's how these things always go. So yeah, I think we're probably targeting $4.60, $4.66. This liquidity right up here, right there in the high. Take profits up there and look for it to dump all the way back down towards $4 again, at least, if not the rest of the way down. So
Yeah, copper happens to be the one that Philly mentioned earlier in the show that he flubbed the order. He took his long off the table just as before it went long, I think. Something like that, Philly. I did make a log of your request, but since we just looked at copper, hopefully that covers it.
I think there's still some more upside here to copper. Like I said, I would really be targeting the highs. It feels as if we just crossed from one volume node to the next. So longing here, maybe you can spend a little bit of time underwater, but I think you'll be okay. Maybe. Not financial price. What's next here?
Did you just say what's next?
Yes.
Well,
no, I said that to myself. I'm looking.
Force
I've
of
already
habit.
done it.
Force of habit. We are a few minutes after 2, though, so we are going to get into the requests in a couple minutes. So let you finish off.
Okay. Let's see. Anything of note. Corn hanging out the local point of control. This is a good place to look for a reversal now. We have been looking for one here. It dumped below the low, so we exited, I think, around 570. Now we're kind of waiting on it. Could still retest the highs here. This is not a bad place to look for a reversal. Natural gas continues pushing up here. For right now, I wouldn't do anything with it. We're looking for $5.50. Soybeans chilling at support. I wouldn't be short this area, I don't think. Sugar, I guess we're looking for a retest of 1818. World markets showing just a little bit of strength today. Singapore finding some support. Taiwan chilling at our local point of control. Netherlands found, I guess it basically retraced into liquidity a little bit. I don't necessarily think that is too bullish. Japan still hanging out at resistance. This is just, we had this resistance level and now we're at this one. Overall, this is a very bullish weekly close on Japan, but I would want to try and grab it on some sort of retrace rather than right here at resistance. We'll see. No, did that one. India still at resistance. UK, you know what time it is. We're looking to take this down. Hong Kong, we're looking to take upwards here. Interesting. I wonder if emerging markets are gonna do well over here versus European and American interests. France, I think we're still expecting a downward movement here. A little bit of retracement today. Ultimately still below resistance. And China, oh yeah, we did break the downtrend. We're taking China upwards here, guys. Wow. When are we taking it upwards? Why? Last week at the lows, when we longed this spot right here. Yes, we did. And it was kind of an easy one, guys. It was a gimme. We bought the support of resistance from 2015, 2018, and 2020. We came down, we retested it, and we buy that area after what? That was 6 months of downtrend, right onto the resistance support. They don't make them much easier than this, guys. All right, that's good enough for now, everybody. I'm going to turn this over to Jason. Go ahead.
sharing my screen.
All right, guys, it's time to get into the request line. We are about 6 minutes to go for the chest opening, and we have a few requests today already, so this is good. We're all looking good. Let's connect to Jason's stream. Jason, if you don't mind going live.
I find it. I
Jason's
think
good.
this is right.
Probably should be. All right, he's live. Jason just went live.
You see a line that looks crazy?
Let's just take a look here. Well, we have two Jasons over here. Let's just fix this. 1 second. I just need to fix something on screen very quickly because things get reshuffled with the scene change here. All right. Enough of this, and we're good. All right. Now heading over to Jason. Let's see here. How come this is still stuck on this screen? 1 second, guys. Very, very weird. Okay, 1 second, guys, 1 second. Having some technical difficulties here. There we go. I just refreshed it, and Jason is indeed back on the screen. All right, Jason, currently looking at your Japan 25 chart. All right. No, wait, you're not. Sorry, that's another on-screen error I have to fix. Here we go. Very weird. What a bug. All right, now we're fully fresh. He's looking at the BTC/USD chart, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. Let's get the first request up on the screen. Here we go. First request of the day is going to be the following. It comes from Jason, of course, always getting ahead of me. Yes, it's from Bricks, and Bricks wants to look at MOVR, MOVR.
First, I wanted to just check back in on this pattern that I had drawn yesterday. I'm not sure why TradingView made it like so great and whatever, but we did begin to get that sell-off that I was talking about yesterday. Not quite down as far as I thought we would. That still remains to be seen here, but I still do think that this is the right narrative. But I mean, we can check back on that next week. But let's get into MOVR. Again, I think that this one has way too little data to do anything. Oh, nope, this one actually does. Oh, this is the hourly. Never mind. Yeah, there's nothing to do here, guys. I mean, look at it. You got strong continuation here. It does look like you're losing a little bit. Actually, not too much, but a little bit of momentum here. There's just nothing to do. This thing is too new, man. Getting in here is just buying a lottery ticket. There's no sense in touching this, in my opinion, with as bearish as things are looking. But if you're in it, great. I would take profit myself.
All right, MOVR is indeed
Kind of bounce back and then continuation or something, but I'd be locking in profits.
Indeed. There is your look at MOVR. Big shout outs to Bricks. Anybody in this one? Well, it's nice. Something finally bucking the trend. All right, let's go into the next request. Big shout out to Bricks for MOVR. We have the following. It's Litecoin USD for Wayne in the YouTube chat.
Well, looking at Litecoin on the daily, utilizing my system with the 13, you are looking very bad here. I mean, this looks like a continuation. I mean, you could actually take this as an initial short, but for my system, where I just didn't catch it, this looks like it's going to continue to the downside. I think that, if anything, you should be out of this, getting out, or looking to set up a short position. I just don't think this looks strong. Well, it doesn't look strong. That's the end of story. But for me, nothing to do here, but I would be more biased to the downside here. But I mean, there is that possibility that we get that swing up, but I don't like it getting stuck under current past historical resistance. So we might just come right boom here and then continue to the downside all the way down to here. So I think that you should be looking to short this rather than long, but no signal quite yet. You're gonna have to wait till you get a continuation.
All right. Well, there was your look at Litecoin. Get out now is I think is how to paraphrase that one. Okay, hold on here. Something's acting really funny on my OBS today. This is better. All right, I fixed a few. Very, very weird. Never had that glitch before. A little visual anomaly, but we're gonna go ahead and roll with the next request. I just dropped 1,000 lemons in the chest, guys. Yes, I decided to make it an extra special Friday. On account of everybody getting wrecked with the price sliding the way it has been, maybe 1,000 lemons will help fill the gap. Fill the gap on the big losses today, guys. Those lemons are, I think they're equivalent trade for 1-to-1 with Bitcoin. So a couple lemons in your pocket should make up for today's losses. All right. Let me see here. Okay, one more thing I have to fix on screen because something went horribly awry. When I switch scenes, what happened here? All right. Bear with me just one more second here. Let's see here. Yeah, something went really, really wrong here. All right, I'll deal with this in just a minute. I'm going to choose the next request, and I'll fix the screen in just a second. Let's have a look here. Next one up is Polkadot for Wayne Arnott over on YouTube. If you have time, look at .USD as well. And DLivians, get ready. We're going to open the chest in about a minute or two.
I think DOT looks the same as everything else here. You can see this clear bearish divergence over the last this uptrend here. As you can see, these higher highs, lower low on the oscillators got sold into, but DOT is getting that reaction that I kind of expect here from Bitcoin as well. That kind of dead cat bounce up here to kind of fill back over this noise and then get sold back into. You can see that WADA just doesn't like this press to the upside here. You got a short signal, but for my system just wasn't there on WADA. Good to keep you out of this, of course. But I do think that, like we discussed yesterday with a few of them, I think that this would be more of a chance to look at getting out of your long positions if you're in one and setting that the beginning of that short position, because this swing, I have a feeling, is going to fail like we're seeing out of a lot of. But as for taking a signal right now, nothing to do. Let it go sideways. Of course, if you get a break back above this resistance at around 35, I think that that's going to be game on. But I really doubt that that's going to happen. I have a feeling that we're going to run into the resistance that we're already seeing. So nothing to do with that. If anything, get out of your positions or look for a short position. All she wrote for DOT, boys.
All right, well, that sounds like concludes your thoughts on DOTZs, and let's keep it rolling. What do we got next? The following. Oh yeah, I'm gonna open the chest actually. I'm gonna introduce the next request, guys, and then I'm gonna prepare to open the chest immediately after. So you got about 30 seconds. You've been warned. Next one up, Polly B requesting Tezos XTZ. Let's get into it. Chest opening in 10.
XTZ is interesting here, man. I mean, you're still getting stuck under resistance here. But it does just appear that this is just too volatile for me to do anything. I mean, this is the initial long signal, which would be good, but it's a clear candle size violation, for me at least. Possibly, if we get sold into here and we close above this old resistance here, around that $5.90. If that comes back down intraday and closes back above this, I think that my candle size violation will be gone, and I will actually look to take this at least up to a TP1. XTZ does appear to be bucking the trend here, and if it does give me that without a candle size violation, we might be good to let it rip. It's an interesting chart in comparison to what everything else looks like. So you're just going to have to wait for the daily to close.
Let her rip. All right. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's see here. Wayne Arnott says, I'm short on DOT as well. Decent profits so far. Well, I'm glad you guys are shorting some of this action into the ground. It's good to make money in both directions, isn't it? All right. Let's see here. Jonah loved the show. Comments saying the UK post office is going to let you buy Bitcoin now. Well, that's news to me. I didn't realize UK post offices are now going to be Bitcoin outlets, but I'll cover that story a little later. In the meantime, quick shout-outs to our big DLivian winners today. Crypto Bull took the first spot. Man, you really cleaned up, Crypto Bull. Big shout-outs to you. Big giveaway. He made his way out the door with 230 lemons. David Rice.
You finally made it, man. You can retire. You did it.
Just finally made it.
Wait, welcome to
It's
the upper
enough lemons to
echelon.
retire on.
200. If you need to,
Welcome to success.
yeah, if you need help moving any of those lemons, Crypto Bull, I do know OTC brokers who will give you 1-to-1 Bitcoin for your lemons. So if you're ready for your big retirement, hit me up. We'll get the gold bars sent to you immediately.
Get it forwarded.
But yeah, big shout to Crypto Bull. He took away 200 lemons. David Rice with 130-ish, and Taz Blitz took third place with 98. Jason, you made the top 5 as well.
While hosting.
While hosting, yes.
Glad I could catch it.
Making money, making lemons while you sleep. That's the trick to long-term financial success. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the next request. Thank you everybody who participated in today's giveaway. Here's one from Jonah. Love the show. Jonah writes the following: do you guys see a golden cross coming for Bitcoin next week? Depends on the EMAs.
Golden cross here because I mean, I guess it depends. I usually use the 200 and the 50 as the golden cross. I mean. And that would be all the way back here. So I'm not sure on what you mean by there's one coming soon. What?
Yeah, it depends which EMAs. I saw some like news articles talking about this. I saw one of the slower EMAs slowly curling up and they're being across in the works.
100? No, because I have the 200, the 100.
Yep, sadly,
50,
I'm not
13.
seeing it right now either.
100 and the 200. So yeah, I'm not sure what you mean on a golden cross. Beef Low says golden shower, not the same thing. But yeah, the golden cross for me would have been back over here, which is one of the few times that you actually got a little bit of continuation. But since has given everything back from there, and we're starting to curl down now. So if anything, we're going to get a death cross if the bearishness continues. So I'm not quite sure on.
Let me take a look here. Let's see here. Which is the golden cross that this is referring to? 50 and the 200. Yep.
50 and the 200. I have those on here.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the latest article. I just came back to the article.
That would be the red and the yellow cross right here would be the 50 and the 200, which would be your golden cross. To the upside. We did get a little continuation. We're already under that right now, so I mean, it gave back whatever that signal could have given you anyways at this point. But yeah,
right.
If anything, we're getting bearishness to the point that hopefully we curl down and get that death cross. I don't trade these things, of course, but historically I know that they have been back tested to actually work out in the opposite favor more often. But
yep, I don't know how much stake I put in the golden crosses, crossovers, the death crosses. A lot of those times.
That's something I utilize, but if you can make it work, good on you, bud.
Yep, indeed. All right. There is, well, not a great look at the cross question, but it's something we don't necessarily put too much stake in here. It seems like
that's relevant right now.
I remember, like in the previous past and then in the near past, every time we discussed golden crosses, we took a little bit of a dive into it. It seemed like it was an unclear moment. If anything, it seemed like something to counter trade potentially for Bitcoin.
Right.
But
it is most of the time.
yeah.
And you guys know I never trade crosses.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not something. I mean, yes, there's something that when they happen, pay attention to them, I guess, but it's not something I take an action off of.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me say something else. It's not that moving average crosses don't matter. I think if you have a well back tested system where you've tested which kinds of crosses matter for the particular market that you're looking at, then a moving average cross system could be very powerful. But just, the 50 and the 200, just because that's what everybody always looks at, and it has special words like golden cross and death cross. Those are not actually.
These are marketing schemes.
Exactly. That's almost like not TA. That's almost a meme.
Yeah, it's like people can understand that because it sounds pretty and all this is happening. It's the golden cross. Woo, let's buy, and then everyone gets crushed. It's a marketing scheme.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
what I have to say.
There's your
Sorry
golden
for
cross.
interrupting.
No, you're good, bud. Cello, it's a bass. Moving on. Who is this one from, Cello?
All right, excuse me for that. I just had to pick up the phone, but I'm back. And the next one up is Cello indeed. It's for Polly B requesting Cello. Let's do it.
I think Cello looks really weak here. Getting that swing that I'm expecting on most everything else. You are getting a long signal right now, but everything is fighting you on it. Water's in the negative. You're getting sold into on this bearish engulfing candle. And nothing to do here. This thing looks terrible. No good. Get the strong out of the weekly, man. This would have been great if you closed above this resistance, but all that getting sold into like that. I mean, yeah, good test of the baseline, but I have a feeling that this is going to end up being a hangman candle, and you get that continuation to the downside.
Yeah, I'd be too afraid that you're just rejecting from weekly resistance again here.
Yeah, absolutely. With the way that this got sold into, there's just no reason to take this here. Be patient or find something better.
All right, that is Cello. Big shout outs to you, Polly B, for that one. Thank you for that request. Let's get into the next one up. Whoops. We have the following. It's BNB and Doge for Ali over on YouTube. Can you take a look at BNB? All right, let's go BNB first.
BNB was one of the ones. This looks very similar to the ADA trade, the SUSHI trade, the AVE trade that we're currently in. But when I got the signal, it was just a little too far extended for me to be able to take it. So we stayed out of it, and it does appear that it was the right position to be in. I think right now that BNB looks terrible. I think you look like we're going to be rejecting even more here. I don't think you would be silly for taking a shot here after this baseline bounce on opening up an initial long today down to at least TP1 of, let's see. Yeah, at least down to like 371. I think BNB looks good for a short for continuation down here after this little reprieve it's gotten. In comparison to Bitcoin, I don't know if Bitcoin's going to fail as well, but this one definitely looks like it's ripe for a short. Or if you're long, good God, get out of it. Does not look strong. Double top, boom, rejection. A little bit of reprieve, boom, getting slammed down again. All right, so we also got Doge USDT.
You got it. Doge is up next.
Doge looks the exact same, man. It's also the exact same scenario of BNB in the sense that I did get a signal, but it was just too far extended for me to be able to take. The interesting thing that I did like was it closed below this old historical support, like a lot of them did, and stayed under. I think this is good to actually continue shorting, but my system just didn't allow me to take it. But Doge looks great for continuation to the downside, in my opinion.
All right, well, that's Doge for you. Shout outs to Ali over on YouTube for a look at BNB and Doge. Let's get into the next request. We have BFree7, but shout outs to BFree7, new user converting to a regular of the live chat. BFree wants to look at waves.
You know what? I don't hate this signal on waves, but if I back out, I do hate it underneath this resistance. If this weren't here, right here, this would be an absolute take for me. But
you might not notice, but you still have Quadriga on.
Oh, sorry.
I never see it either when it's on.
But yeah, this does look like a good signal at first, but with the way everything else is shaping up and the way that this is underneath resistance and got sold into, I would be hesitant to take this signal myself. A break and close above 36, I think you're game on. But if that happens, then I think we'll see some bullishness out of the rest of the market as well. But as for a signal, this does have everything you need. Rising explosion level, enough water there, getting the crossover on time transformation as well as an initial long signal yesterday with the baseline bounce. It would be really nice if you close this back above 30, but I would be hesitant taking anything underneath this resistance with the way the rest of the market is looking.
Would you check out Adam? Did we look at Adam already?
We have not looked at Adam, but I know Adam's been on a tear. But Adam, it's one of those ones that closed right below that resistance, but we're depending on today. If this closes as is, I think that this is good to take, to be honest with you.
I was looking at the even the hourly is strong.
Yep. You're gonna have to close, I think, above this high though.
Yeah.
Of 29.81. If you get above 29.81 and close, then you're likely to get that continuation for sure.
Mhm.
Adam definitely,
It looks as if it might be about to go into price discovery.
absolutely. And if it does close like this in the next 30 minutes, this is a pretty strong hourly signal out of pretty much all of my indicators. It's something that I pay attention to, not actively trade, but if I'm looking at like a higher time frame and I'm looking for an entry, I usually will go down to lower time frames, just kind of see. This is beautiful. If you close like this, Adam's going. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this on my list for the day, because if Adam closes above this old resistance, that's basically, like Alex said, price discovery. Glad I have a bag of Adam sitting on Coinbase.
Indeed. All right. Well, there was a little bit of a pause to take a look at Adam. Now back to our regularly scheduled request content. How are we doing on
Can't put in
time?
chart requests?
Sorry, come again?
I said, well, I can't put in chart requests.
Yeah, like sometimes I want to look at a chart and I never do it.
Well, you guys are the chart request. You do that on you do that on your own time. But no, of course we can look at the request, guys. The show does not run that tight of a format where we can't take little breaks like this to take a look at other requests. But in the meantime, it is 2:30. We do have to wind the show down in a few minutes, but I am going to take a couple more minutes. Jason, if you're good. Alex, you as well.
I can run through 5 of these real quick.
Yeah, let's run through them real quick. Next one up is Sushi for Ask About My Wiener Dog on DLive.
Of course, Sushi's one that we are in, much like that, the BNB or the BNB Doge. Those this Sushi looks a lot very similar to that, but I did end up taking this about 11. What was that price? We ended up taking this at $11.03. We did get sold into here a little bit. Still looks weak. I think we're great to still be in this short. Wish we would have hit TP1 on this, but currently nothing to do. I think that we're right to still be in it. Nothing gives us any kind of telltale sign that we should be worried at this moment. But if you're in Sushi with us, great. Let's ride it out. I think there's still definitely a chance to hit TP1, but nothing to do right now. Definitely don't be long.
All right, there is your warning concerning Sushi. Let's go look at ENJ for Ask About My Wiener Dog.
ENJ. Exact same as all those other. This looks like it's gonna continue to break down here. The same as most of the other charts that we've seen. I don't think you should be long here. That's for damn sure.
All right, seems like a lot of these charts are looking hella the same. ENJ the same as Sushi, mostly takeaway. Yes, Jason, always ahead of me. Rhino TD, can you take a look at Serum USDT? Let's do it.
Serum looks very similar to Adam here. I think that if you get a close like this above this resistance, I mean, game on. Definitely want to see that close above. I would wait for a break, because at this point you could just end up just dumping from here. But keep an eye on it for sure. This is interesting. No trend break, nothing to say that this is bearish at the moment. Interesting chart. But I mean, anything like this, though, when I look at it, you just need that break of resistance. You don't get ahead of yourself, because this is likely to get faded, in my opinion. I mean, people can have their own stances on what they think this kind of price action will lead to, but in my opinion, this is going to get faded.
All right, watch for the SRM fade. In the meantime, Jason's already getting to the next one. We have SHIB, Shiba Inu for Mr. Ether. Yes,
Sheeb.
SHIB.
I mean, honestly, it is what it is. It's kind of at its mean of price, so take that with what you will. But there's definitely nothing to do with it. I mean,
Did the arbitrage gap close on Coinbase? Is it still way up? Did they unlock deposits, guys? Do let me know. Were we looking at the? Go look at the Coinbase chart out of curiosity, Jason, just to see if it, because I heard there was like a massive premium on SHIB on Coinbase yesterday. Did this end up closing? Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, I think the gap certainly, the arbitrage opportunity got filled.
yeah, it certainly got filled this hour.
Maybe the deposits finally opened.
Yeah, probably. Huh. Tank it.
Dumpy.
But yeah, nothing to do with SHIB, man. I mean,
I know there were a lot of people whose SHIB deposits were stuck. They must have all come through.
All right, yeah, the SHIB deposits indeed came through, just to end up dumping on the Coinbase foam wars. All right, so let's have a look. But you know what? It does demonstrate one thing. The Coinbase demographic, the average Coinbase user, apparently big appetite for Doge clones, that kind of thing. She kind of did pretty well in that Coinbase listing. I don't know if it was because the order book wasn't that thin, or was there like an unprecedented demand from the Coinbase users for the newest DOGE coin? Tough to say. All right, so we've looked at SHIB. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. This is one of the last requests of the day. Alex81SG on DLive writes, can you look at Form USDT? Is this a continuation or an exit pump?
this is an interesting chart. This doesn't look terrible. But again, it's one of those ones that's coming up. There's not really much data here. Is there anywhere that I can get more? Not really. It's interesting for sure. Definitely getting some great volume in here, or good momentum to the upside. I would just be patient with it here. If you get a break of that resistance to the upside, then yeah, go ahead and take it. A close above 35 cents, I do think would be very bullish. Just keep an eye on it. A break of these two is definitely going to lead to price discovery. We might see that out of a few coins, but nothing for me to do right now. As for my system, you're getting a little too much volatility in this candle. But oscillators have not fired yet. I'm not crossing zero, so I'd have to be patient with this anyways. If it closes like this, you're likely to get an indecision candle here anyways to go sideways. So you'll likely have more time to decide whether this is a long signal, but right now, nothing to do. It's an interesting chart for the time being. I wish I had more data, but nothing to do with it.
Well, I think it's time for us to wrap.
Yep, absolutely.
It certainly is, guys. Thank you, everybody who kicked it with us today. An extra 10 minutes across the line. Wonderful. Excellent TA, as always, guys. Another week in the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update series is in the bag. That's a wrap for this week. And what a week it's been. Hella droopy. This is the September crash, the September pullback. What is it called? Yeah, we covered it yesterday. It's called the September curse. Yes. How do we shake the curse? Go to your local witch doctor. Get him to maybe bless your cold wallet. I don't know, guys. We need to come back roaring. But at the moment, you've heard the TA. You know how you should be positioned. You know how you should risk accordingly. Heck, if you don't, well, might I suggest some of our premium education materials, guys. Yes, don't sleep on this. If you are, of course, a miserable trader and you do want to step your game up, you want to, of course, find a winning formula, kind of veer away from the discretionary stuff that just keeps losing you money. Yes, there is a professional way to trade. There is a way to trade according to a system and cut all the guesswork out, all those hours spent just staring at candle patterns up and down. Find an efficient way to trade, an efficient way to use your time, a new outlook on trading in general. This is for you retail traders. Premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com features things like our Pathways to Profits course, other education material, mentoring, tutoring to some degree. Man, in fact, we're beefing all this up in the coming weeks and months. Highly encourage you to check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Finally, do check out Discord, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That is your link to our Discord server. Do join a Discord community of like-minded traders with their eye on success, on the big wins, of course. In the Discord server, we also have something called the new content channel. Do subscribe, do follow, and maybe get notifications for new content, because I do post the timestamps to that channel. As soon as they go live, I add them to the YouTube channel, YouTube description, and I post them to that channel. So anybody wants to catch the replay, you want to see any of the requests you might have missed today, like Dot, CELO, BNB, Waves, they'll all be easily navigatable with the description, timestamps in the description below. All right. Anything else I gotta add? No, big shout outs. It is a Friday wrap down, wind up wrap down, whatever you want to call it. Big shout outs to, of course, everybody on the team. Mr. Ether, Crypto Bull does the timestamps, Dark Rico, all our regulars, of course, of the live chat, all the new users who are becoming faithfuls. Can't thank you guys enough. Really couldn't do the show without you. Big thumbs down. No shout outs to YouTube. They, of course, keep shadow banning us, but we are still alive, well, and kicking. We're going to be coming back. We're going to come back to YouTube with a vengeance. We'll be back, guys. We're going to upset the crypto YouTube space once again in due time. But in the meantime, you guys and your support is remarkable. We really couldn't do it without you. So here's your extra special thank you this Friday as we wind it down. But alas, I got to go to the outro now. Our analysts are anxiously waiting to get out of here. Final words to them. Let's do it.
Trade safely.
Jason?
Yep, just trade safely over the weekend, guys. It does appear bearish. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some kind of bullish activity to the upside intra-weekend and then get sold back into. But as for now, there's no real position on Bitcoin other than things look bearish.
Well said. Peace out, gentlemen. Ladies, have yourselves a great weekend. If there's UFC tomorrow, I didn't check yet, but probably watch it in the YouTube or Discord. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm finally out the door. Peace out. Jason.
Bye.
Give us a real goodbye.
Bye. Alex hates it.
That's the flavor. Peace out, guys.